One of the things that South Burlington is known for is great outcomes, great educational outcomes. And a lot of feedback the board receives is, hey, aren't our outcomes still some of the best in the state and around the country? And that is true.
The best thing about my school right now, I really like the community feel that we have and how our school helps to foster that.
We have been able to create a culture and community where people are really looking out for each other.
I really do think that this new design has helped to support the idea of community.
Recently, I saw a picture of a bunch of students in a classroom from 1957, and the students were in, fixed desks that actually may have been affixed to the floor. And then it really hit me that I realized that our school was built with those kids in mind. Our school opened in 1961. Schools were being built to really have students experience that model of education. I think nowadays we're really asking a lot more of our students in terms of their skills relative to collaboration, communication, as well as just their ability to create and to solve problems.
Middle school kids are just insane, but it's insanely fun. I just love having them discover things and have those aha moments. When I first got here, we did a lot of labs, a lot of experiments, but it was very prescribed. But now it's totally different, where the kids are working in groups, not only to do an experiment, but to design an experiment. So you have a lot of different projects trying to contain all that in this space. It's pretty difficult.
There's a lot of times where you feel like the teaching faculty is really bumping into the building as it exists.
We in the middle school are on teams. The way our school is set up, I'm upstairs and my colleagues are downstairs. And so our kids have to go up and downstairs. The 7th graders might be transitioning from one class to another when my kids are out in the hallway trying to do a lab. And so we're in their way, they're in our way. I'm teaching, they're transitioning, the noise is considerable. And there's no windows in here.
I know one of the most obvious problems with our schools as they are is that we have a large student body. It'd be really great for us to have different configurations and have group work and different types of styles. But with the sizing of our classrooms and the way that they're configured, it's just not possible. Also, in the configurations of the buildings, it's not very practical. Like our art wing at the high school is really difficult to access. There are 2 ways to get to the art wing, either going through the gym, which is the only way people who are in wheelchairs can get to the art wing, or going down a hallway, past the cafeterias, up a set of stairs that no one uses. It's a Franken building.
Another great challenge of the high school is really just has to do with the fact that the building itself was not built for as many students as we have in it right now.
One word to describe the lunchtime experience would probably have to be haphazard, because it's just tripping over backpacks and finding your way, and it's just a mess.
I'm kind of numb to it at this point because it's this daily occurrence. We're trying to get almost 1,000 students through our lunches in a cafeteria that was designed in the old school kind of factory model cafeteria.
And so some people have to spill out into either the lobby or sometimes into different hallways, and that can be a distraction in the classroom environment.
Obviously, nobody in the late 50s, early 60s knew that the materials that they were using were hazardous materials, but the reality is that that's the building that we're living in right now. And it's just old. If there's a big rainstorm, we're gonna have 12 buckets in the hallway, and not all on the 2nd floor.
All the air exchangers, the ventilation, the heating, that's all in the 60s. Everything has to be done.
It seems like such a minor thing, but with how cold Vermont gets and how hot it gets in the summer, it becomes very uncomfortable and very hard to learn in the classrooms.
The kids have a hard time. They bring a sweater or a sweatshirt and they just end up putting it on or taking them off depending on what room they're in.
All right, as we transition here, we'll move to agenda item 10, master planning and visioning update. And we were looking at the potential to consolidate some or all of our 3 elementary schools. And during that process, the feedback from the community was really a strong desire to keep the elementary schools in neighborhoods. So at that point in time, the school board made a decision along with administration to look at what the infrastructure needs were at the middle school and high school.
I thought we were going to be able to renovate. Figured out relatively quickly that the dollar for dollar value proposition relative to renovation versus new build was almost non-existent.
Ultimately, the board is recommending a build option right now, and that is largely driven by the fact that the needs on a going forward basis are such that we believe it's time to allow the community to make that choice.
Simply put, what we're hoping to have at the completion of the project is a robust 6 through 12 campus that has state-of-the-art facilities for both our middle school and our high school students, and that supports our programming during school as well as after school. We're hoping to have a very safe campus, and we're hoping to have learning environments that will allow for teachers to fully engage in the kind of instruction that they aspire to at this time.
The way I look at it as a board member and as a community member is 60 years ago, the community of South Burlington made a decision to invest in a school system and in students and those outcomes. And our obligation right now is to let the community know that there are needs that are evolving. We really want to encourage folks to become informed and understand that there's an opportunity to make a decision for the next 50 or 60 years that's intergenerational, that will serve thousands of students over the course of that period of time, and really serve to make South Burlington a community that people want to and choose to reside in.